Hello. Now we are going to clone this site. It is a portfolio that was created using PHP, but now I want to use Yii2 since it has many features. So if you can see, just a simple portfolio that has these sections where you have your skills, education, and all the projects that you have done. They're also here, and also the contact section. It just has four pages on the front end, but also it has a back end where you feed the information using the database, where you store the information in the database and then fetch them in these pages. So let's go to the dashboard and then you'll see what's happening there. So it's admin, then index.php. Then you'll just log in. Let me log out and then you see how you just log in. I'm not sure. Admin. So after logging in, you have this section. So you have the About Me section where you'll put all the information, the title. Okay, let me open the page in a new browser so that you can see where we are making the changes. So Fortune devs. So in this section where we have the hi, and then your name, then software developer. Then so in the admin dashboard you have the title, which is here. I've written it here. Then you find it on the home page, on the description, and all the information that you have here. And then you have the education section where you define all your education. It's like just a CV. Then you have the portfolio, all the projects that you have done, and their links. You can see how they look, and then you save. User section, you can have more than one user. And then you have the settings section where you have the site name. This is the name that is appearing on the this is the site name, and then the site description. Yeah. And then we have the logo where you just add the file image, the image file. Then you have the site search engine optimization section. So we will be rebuilding this site using Yii2 framework. Now, since we have everything ready here, we know what we need. So we'll just need to create one new project for Yii2. So creating a new project, we will need to head into our projects folder. And I prefer using Docker containers. So this project will be running inside a Docker container. And then I guess in the next tutorial, we will deploy the container in a server. And I'll show you how to connect it with the domain name, which is very simple, not complicated. So now we can just head to our projects folder. We will create a new project for Yii2. So we'll just head to the Yii2 basic installation. So just go to your browser and search Yii2 basic. And then you'll just get the guideline on how to install the basic version, which you'll just find the command here. It is Composer create project. So in your PC, make sure you have Composer installed for it to work. Composer and PHP, make sure those two are installed for this to work. So I'll just head to the directory of my projects, then open the terminal, then paste the command. But now our project, the last name here is the name of the folder that will be created for the project. So I prefer changing it to the project that we are creating. So I'll just name it portfolio tutorial. Yeah, portfolio tutorial. And then after doing that, you just press enter and everything will be done in the background. So you can see it is installing everything. I'll give it some time. Yeah, it will take some time since it is pulling all the files to your PC. So just give it some time. Yeah. Now you can see it has finished the installation. Yeah, we have finished all the installation here. Now if we get back into our folders, we can see Yii2 portfolio. Okay, portfolio tutorial. Yeah, we have it here. Yii2 portfolio tutorial. Now we have all the files that we need for the application to run. So let me just open it inside VS Code so that it can be easy to interact with it. So I'll just write code dot. Yeah, so here is our application, just basic one. Now we will need to make some changes for it to be easier to work with. So I'll just head into my GitHub. I'll show you the simple tweaks that we need to make. So GitHub. In my GitHub, I have a repository that is named Yii2 basic, and there's some things you'll need to make, like in your directory here for the project. We will add a new file and name it yii2.config cfg. That is it's a configuration file that we'll need to use in our project, and then we'll just head in my repository and copy the content that is inside the Yii2 configuration file. So the only thing we need here actually is the environment. So just copy this and then we'll go and paste it in our configuration file. So here we'll be writing either dev or prod. Dev represents development and prod represents production. So having that in place, there is another file we need to add. We need to add index.php in our root directory. So just create it index.php. Now it doesn't have anything, so we'll just head in my GitHub repository and do the same. So we'll just look for the index that is in the root directory and then just copy everything that is inside the file. So copy and then go and paste it here. So having everything inside, there is a problem. We don't have the .env composer package. Now we will need to install it. So installing the .env composer package, we will need to have it added in the composer.json in the required section. So the same way, we just head in our application. We will be having the composer.json. We'll just take the required php.env. This is the installation that we need. So just head in your application and then in the required section just paste it inside there. So after adding this line here, we will need to run composer update for it to fetch all the packages, all the files that are required for this php.env. It's like just pulling the package. So you just open the terminal, Control J, and then write composer update, and then press enter, and just give it some time. It will load everything, and then everything will be fine. So it has updated all the files, and then you can see here we have the installing vulkas php.env. Now if we get back into the index.php, we can see the errors have gone, so everything is just working fine. So after creating all this, my first approach, how I just like doing things, I love creating a Docker. Actually, we have a Docker compose, and then we need a Docker file that will be specifying the image that we'll be using. So I'll just create a new file and name it Docker file. Yeah. So our Docker file currently is empty. We need to add some code inside here. So I'll just get into one of my projects and show you how I create my Docker files. So I have this one project here. Let me open the Docker file. Now I'll just copy everything inside this file, and then I'll paste it inside the project Docker file in the project. Now let me remove all the unnecessary things. Yeah. So we will be working with this. So this is pulling the image from Vault KE PHP version 8, which has FPM and Nginx. That is the server, that proxy server that will be using Nginx. So I guess that is sorted. And then we have the Docker compose file. We won't be using this one. So let me copy the other Docker compose file that we'll be using. So I'll just open and copy the changes that I made inside this one. So copy all the file. Let me copy all this and then paste it in the Docker compose. So replace all the code inside here with our code that we have. So we'll just name it, rename the name of the file of the project of the what is the name? Container. Here, this is the name of the container. So Control D to select all the cascade names that are named cascade. Then we'll replace it as portfolio tutorial. Having our portfolio tutorial, now you will need to make sure that you have the network existing, the Docker network existing in your machine. If you get an error, you'll just need to create it. And then the port that we'll be using here, let me use 230, port 230. So we'll be mapping our port 80 of Apache 2. It will be mapping to that port 230 for a Docker container. So after having that in place, I think everything is almost ready. So for it just to run, you just need to open your terminal again, Control J, and then write Docker compose app build D, and it will start creating the container. You just give it some time and everything will be fine. So it's almost finishing. So if it's your first time to pull this image, it will first download it from Docker Hub, but I've already used it previously. So if it exists in your machine, it will just pull the one that is existing locally in your machine. So after that, just to test if it's working, we'll just head to this port in our browser. So let me just type localhost, then it's port 230 to confirm if the application is really running. So Now we are getting this error, which is always normal to get it when using Linux. So this error is giving you, there's no permissions for writing the assets folder directory. So we need to give the permissions for it to be writable by the application. So we need to get in the project directory and then open terminal and type this sudo chmod and then -r777, giving it all the permissions, then /. The name of our project is portfolio tutorial. If you press enter, it will be having all the permissions. So if you try refreshing the page, you'll see the error gone. So our first step, we have already finished it. We have everything in place. So I'll need to make some changes in the config. So in our web, I want to make sure that I'm using URL manager. It has been commented out here. So just uncomment it. And then that's enough in this section. And then we have this option down here for development environment. We need to uncomment this one, and then uncomment this one. Let's just see how I did it in my previous project in the config directory, and then in our web. Inside here, allowed IPs, you just make sure you put an asterisk that allows all the IP addresses to modify to make this to be able to access these environments. So after adding that, I think we are almost done. So the next thing is connecting with the database. I'm using MariaDB, which also is running in a Docker container, which is in the same network as the application that we have just created. So it is in this port localhost 85. So I'll just log in, and then I think I'll add another user just for the practice. Add a new user. Username is admin, password admin, and then retyping admin. So having all that, I'm giving the user all the permissions. Yeah, that is enough. So I'll just create the user. I'm getting an error here. Password is admin. Yeah, the user has been created admin. So I'll just use this user here. So it's admin and then admin. Now we don't have the database. Now we need to create the database that will be used with this project. Now I'll just get here and name the database. Our project is portfolio tutorial. I'll just name it the same way. So portfolio tutorial. And then that's enough for now. So after adding that, I'll just name it here too. So it's portfolio tutorial. And our database host name, our host is MariaDB. DB. It's not localhost. I'm using MariaDB. So to test this, we need to run the migration, just confirm if everything is right. So I'll just open the terminal. If you're using container, Docker container, you'll need to have some, you need to write this. It is docker exec, then -it, then the name of the container, Docker container, which is portfolio tutorial. Then you just write sh. Then so now we are inside the container. If I try listing all the files, you just see all the files of the project which are mapped inside the container. So after getting inside the container, now we can run our command, which is php yii migrate. After running that, no new migrations found in the system update. So if we try refreshing this, we'll find the migrations. Where is it? Portfolio tutorial. We can see we have the migration table created. Yeah. Now we have everything in place. Yeah. If we get back in our project, I love starting with the backend, the dashboard, admin dashboard first, and then I get to the front end. So to make things much easier, we have the dashboard for the admin here. Now we can just start creating it. The first thing, we'll need to create a module for the admin. So the part is, you just put / and then you write G. We want to create a module, so we go to the module generator and then we give it a class name. So first it will be an on app class, and then we go to the modules folder, which I'm not sure if it is existing here. We don't have the modules folder yet, so it should be inside modules, and then the name of the file will be cm. Let me name it. We can use admin or cms. Let me use admin, and then you just name it admin. So you just write it twice. The module ID will just fetch it from here. It will be admin. So we just preview it. After previewing, it will create these files: the module admin php, and then module admin controller, default controller, and the view for the index. So if we generate, we can see it has been generated successfully. Now we'll just need to copy this file, this code, and then add it inside the web.php. Now to add it, we just get inside the web.php, inside the components, we just paste it. Yeah, let me to structure it much better. Yeah, I guess this is much better. So we have the admin module. To test it if it's working, we'll just get to the application. Actually, I'm having a lot of. Okay, let me just remove one. So inside this, let me just open another local host. Our port is 230. We don't need the G. Local host. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but run on unknown error and component ID request. Let me try refresh. Or actually, you're not supposed to put it inside the components. It's supposed to be outside. Yeah, sorry for that. So to test it, we just go to just write / and then write the name of the module that you created. We named it admin. So we can see it is just rendering the pages just well, meaning we have our module ready. To find the files of the module, you need to head into, now we have the modules folder, and then we have the admin. If you have more than one module, they'll just appear here. But since we have one, we're just being displayed every content that is inside the module. We have the controller and the views. Now, having all this here, we'll need to make some changes. I'll just paste the layout. So we're having this layout. I'll rename it, and I'll name it as admin layout.php, and then I'll have to create an asset for it. So we have the asset app asset. We need to duplicate this one too, and then rename it as admin asset.php, and then inside it we just need to rename the class. It will be admin asset. So now we have almost everything ready. Now if we get in the controllers, we have the default controller. Now if you don't specify the layout that is using, it will just use the default one which is inside the views, the default one that we have copied, this one. But now we want to use the one that we have renamed inside the admin module. So adding that one, we just need to type a public $layout, and then is equal to the name of the layout that we have for the admin, which is admin layout, and then you just close it. So we have everything ready. There's no changes since we have everything. We haven't changed anything in the layout. So we need to remove all the unnecessary things that we won't be using. The header and the footer, we don't need these ones. We'll just remove them. All the classes that are inside here, I don't need them. I just remove everything. And then this section 2, I don't need it. Container, all the classes, I just remove them. Now if we refresh, you'll see there's some changes. Now we don't have all the features that the views that had been added. Now we need to clone the portfolio that we are trying to use. Now we have the default page, which is this one. To make it easier, I'll just right click, view the page source, and copy everything. Let me copy everything. Copy, and then come and paste inside the default. Okay, this is the page that is being rendered immediately after you open the admin layout. So I'll just select everything and then paste. So let's see what is being displayed. We have, okay, it has been displayed, so we don't have the assets ready. To make everything working, now we'll just make some changes. Inside this web folder, I'll just create a new directory, so I'll name it portfolio, just to make it easier for us to work with. And then, so we actually don't have any file in our PC, so we'll need to import them. So if we open this file and then view page source, we have the CSS app. So if we open this one, we need to copy this name and create the file. And create the file. So inside our portfolio we need a folder, name it CSS, another one, name it JS. So inside our CSS we create a new file and name it app.css. So we don't know the content that is inside it, so we copy all of this content that is inside the app.css and then paste it inside there. Having our app.css, our next file is toaster. Actually, we don't need this one for now. We just need the CSS files. Toaster, we will just use the CDN. The custom CSS, we just create the file custom, copy, and then create a new file, paste the name, and then copy the content inside it, copy, then paste it here. Now we have the files, two files inside. Let's see if we have any JS. We have these two, which is just fine. And then let's see if we have any JavaScript files that are required. We have the jQuery.min, and then we have the app.js, toaster, data tables, custom. Let's import all this. We have the jQuery.min, copy, in the JS folder, create a new file, and then rename it. So we'll copy everything inside the file, copy, then paste it here, and then we have everything here ready. Now we need to add the other one. We have the app.js. Let's just copy the name, get back into the JS directory, create a new file, paste the name, then you copy the content, copy all, Control A, copy, and then paste the content. Just format if necessary. Yeah, we have everything ready. Now what is remaining? We have the data tables and the toaster. Let me copy the data tables too. Copy, open, create a new file, paste the name, press enter, and then copy the content, Control A, Control C, and then paste. Yeah, we have the data tables ready. The next one is custom.js. We just copy the name, custom.js, and then get back in your files, create a new file, paste the name, and then we copy the content, Control A, Control C, yeah, and then paste. Now we have all the files ready. I think we have just finished all of them. So yeah, all these are not necessary for now. We'll just use them if they are needed. So now we have this link for the fonts. We will need it somewhere. So inside our module, is it module? Yeah, module, in our layout, we can see here we are adding the extra things. So inside the head, I'll just add that link just to make it use the required the required fonts. So since we have already added everything, I'll just remove this extra code. The body, we don't need a body. Okay, let's just go slowly. Now let me just close all these tabs. Now let's find the admin layout, and then we have the index default. So let me open this one in a new section. So this is the whole page this is the home page when it is just raw in our Yii2 application, in our dashboard that we are trying to copy. So in Yii2 we have separated these things. So in our layout we have the body ready, we have everything defined. So the only thing we need here is the content inside the body. All the rest are unnecessary. So we just copy this one, select all, then replace them with the content. No, actually I've done a mistake. We need to do something first. Inside our app layer, our admin assets, we need to import the assets first. Now we have the CSS, grab.css, copy that one, we add it inside the CSS section, and the next one is the toaster. We are not going to use it for now. And then we have the custom.css, which I'll just add it here inside the JS section. I'll copy the asset.min, copy it and then paste it inside the JS section. And then the next one is the JS, copy that one and then paste it. Is there anything remaining here? We have the data tables, which I'll just copy this one, copy, paste, and then the last one is the custom.js. Now we have everything ready. Now the parts are not right. Our files are inside the web and then portfolio. Now to make them point to this folder here in the web directory, we just need to replace all this. So control D, it will select all of them, and then let me just repeat it. Control D, delete everything, and then we start with / and then web, then / it is named portfolio, / and then we have the directories inside there, which is CSS and JS, which is just fine. So we have everything ready. So having that in place, we can see we have everything ready for us. Now I can just remove this extra code. I just remain with the content inside the body. Control A, then paste. Yeah, let's see what is being displayed in our admin dashboard now. Actually have a problem. Let's try to inspect and see what is the problem. Now we don't have a lot of things here. Yeah, we have a problem. In the admin layout, we need to use our admin assets. So we need to replace with our admin assets. So I just replace all of them. Admin asset. So let's try and refresh and see if it is being used. Now you can see we have our dashboard ready. We are having almost everything here. So in our dashboard we can see there's something. You can see we have the about section, portfolio, contact, user, settings. This section is the sidebar is constant, like it's not changing. It's just the same. And if you look at this navigation, this bar, the top bar, is also constant. The only content that is changing is the one inside this section here. So since these sections are constant, we just need to separate them and put them inside the layout. So every time the layout is being called, it will always be having the sidebar and the top bar. So separating them, we'll need to add a directory inside our module, inside the layouts. I like naming the directory as components. So inside the components, we can now get inside our index.php, which has all the code that is being displayed. And then let's see what is being displayed there. We have the navigation bar, we have the top bar here, and then we have the main content, and then we have our footer. Footer also is constant throughout the project. So I'll start with the sidebar, copy the code, and then create a new file inside the components. So inside the components, I'll create a new file and then name it _sidebar.php, and then inside it I'll paste the code. The next one is top bar, or let me just name it top bar.php. I'll just copy the top bar here, copy, paste it, and then the one remaining, the last one, is the footer. The footer, copy, and then create a new file, footer.php, and then paste the code inside. So now rendering them inside the layout, we'll just start with the first one was the sidebar. Importing it, you'll just echo this render, and then inside it is inside components, and then sidebar. That is the name of the file. The next one, if we follow the same format that we have here, before we continue, we have this div class wrapper. Just copy it, and then everything should be inside it. So I'll just create a div, and then replace the first opening tag with that, and then copy everything that we have here, cut, paste it inside. Now, having all that, we have the main div. We just copy this one, and then it is inside. Just create another div, and then inside this main div we have this one. So all the other content is inside it. So our navigation bar, main, and footer are inside this main div. So I'll just copy this, cut it, and put it inside. So having it inside, we now can have our top bar. We can import it inside here. So we just echo it, this render, and then the directory is components, and then the name is top bar. Now after top bar, now we have our main content, which is just fine. Let me format it and see. we have our main content. Our main content has a class content. We'll just copy and paste it here. After having our main content, we have our footer. Our footer is after the main, so just the same thing. Echo, then this, render, then components, / footer. Now I think we have everything ready. Inside our main, let's see if we have anything that can be separated. We have our content now, which is this one. Now, since we have everything, all these things are inside the layout, so only this content inside the main that should remain in the view. I'll copy it, select all, and then we'll just have the content remaining here. So it's just this one. So having it in place, we can try viewing if we have any error. No, it's not. I'm using the wrong file, the wrong site. So if we just have everything intact, everything is just fine. So that means we have set up everything right. So if I try commenting this out, you'll see the changes. You see only the content inside here has disappeared, but our sidebar and the top bar have remained since we have them inside the layout. So just Control Z, undo. So we have our home page ready. Now we need to work on our sidebar, since we have several menu items here. So to display them, the way I like using the sidebar, actually let me just close everything and then search Control P. If you want to know the shortcut, is Control P and then sidebar, search sidebar, and here we have it. Now I don't like duplicating the PHP code, the HTML code like this. I really don't like it. I love using an array and then I just look through the array. So let me show you how I do it. So on the top, we just open the PHP tags, PHP. So I'll just first write, let me try to remember. So we have our first, actually, let me just write what I was thinking of. I create a variable for the menus, and then it will be an array. So it will have all these items here. Actually, Copilot, GitHub Copilot knows what I'm thinking of. So just press tab to autofill. Having this in place, we can make some changes. So I'll just take one of the list items in the loop. Let me just take this one and use for each. So open PHP tags, PHP, then use for each menu item, menus as menu. And then after having that in place, we can just close that and then close it with the end, for each end. So we have everything in place now. So if we try, let me just comment this out, you see how it works. Let me just comment, or just remove all of them. Now you can see our code is very simple now. It's clear. There's no, we don't have a lot of HTML code there. Now you can see we have this, which is really working fine. It's just fine. So we just need to replace these items here with our actual data in the menus. So first, in this active section, just leave it. Let's work on the URL, not the URL. Let's just work on the dashboard, what is being displayed. So we just need to echo what is inside the menu, the actual menu that is being displayed. So echo, then we call the variable menu, and then since it is an array, we are calling the title. Yeah, so if you try refreshing, we'll see all the titles being pulled here, which is just fine. And now we can see we have a problem with the icons. Now we'll just use the actual icons that are being used here. So icon, you will just find where the icon is, data feather. I think this is the icon that is being used. So we'll just pull ours here. So menu, then icon. So let's try and see if the icons have changed. Now we have everything ready, which is really nice. So after having that in place, we need to work on something else, on the link. Our home URL is actually not this one. We are using Yii, so we will just need to use the part of the module. Our dashboard is inside. It's / the module name is admin, and then the controller name is default, and then the action is index. So we can just copy this and replace it on the others, and then we'll just have to change some things. So on top here is just find the dashboard. About, it will be going to the about controller, about, and then this one will go to the education, which are currently not available. We have not created them yet. We will create them later. And then this one will be portfolio, and then this one will be contacts. This one users. I don't think if we'll need this one, so we'll just see. Settings, we'll use the settings one. Settings. Let me format it and see. So it's well. I don't think if we'll need the users. Let me just comment it out. If you refresh, we still have everything ready. Now this action, this active section is the one that is challenging. I love using the loop for this active session. That is much easier in Yii2. Instead of writing the code again and again, we can leverage the Yii2 controller and action IDs. So I'll just pull the action that is being run, the action that is being used. Let's start with the controller and then the action. So I'll create a variable for the controller, and then you can see we have the Yii app controller ID and the action we have been given here. Now everything is just fine. Now we'll just have to add, to confirm here, add the if statement for it to be active when a certain action is active or not. So if no, we need to make some changes first on top here. I need to add the the action, controller, and then the action. Same way to this one, controller and the action, This is the advantage of using GitHub Copilot here. It just suggests for you, just press tab, and then you have the controller portfolio action index. The same way for this, controller contact action index. For the last one, we just do the same, controller settings action index. So having this in place, we can just apply the conditions here. So we can just delete this. So we have this command here. So if the controller is equal to the same controller that is in the loop, and the action is the same as the action that is in the loop, it will echo the active class. If not, it will just echo empty class. So we can try refreshing and see what will happen here. Now our action actually is the same as in the dashboard. We have the default and the index action, which is rendered by default if you put the part of the module, so which is only the one active. So we need to make some changes too here and create the about section. Now since we have our dashboard ready, we need to create a migration file now, which will use it to create the about. Or we can have an option where we can create the about controller direct, where we can use just the G tool. So let me open the G tool here, which is localhost 230/G. And then we'll just create the controller. The controller class is inside the modules, admin. Here it will be called about. Index view path, it will be inside the modules, and then admin module inside the views folder, and then it will be named about. So let's preview it. We'll just create that one, and we have everything ready. So if you look at the controllers, we have the about controller created. Let's confirm if it's working. So if you open the admin module and then you try about controller, we can see we have everything ready here. So we need to use our layout for the admin in the about section, in the about controller too, so that it can match with all the others. So if I refresh, now we have it inside here. Now you can see we have this one active. That is the advantage of using this. So you can see the links are not working since I've not linked them well. So let's go to the sidebar first and fix everything. So in the reference, I'll have to replace this one with PHP. So it will be, there's this, I always like using URL too. No, URL. Which is a helper, helper, and then 2. Then I put the part here. So I'll be putting the URL, which is menu, and then the URL being passed in the array. So if you try refreshing, and see, we will see the changes. Oh no, I edited the wrong place. Sorry for that. Copy. Let me just undo and leave the way it was. So actually it's in the loop which we need to make the changes. Yeah. So, and then pull the URL, import the URL. It's in that it's inside the helpers. This one, the sidebar brand. I think this one, it should be heading to the module direct. So it will just be /admin /default /index. Yeah. That one is responsible for this part. If you click it, yeah. So if you go to the about is active, dashboard is active. Now it's working well. Yeah. Now we need to work on the about me section. So we can now get in our code here and go to the about, and then copy everything. Just inspect, view page source. I love copying since we have everything in the sidebar. Now we just need the content section, this one. Just copy until before the main. Yeah, copy that, and then we have our about index. So just select this and replace them with the code that we have copied. So if you refresh our page, we should have the same view. This one, where is it? But if you refresh, now we have all the code here displayed, which is really nice. So in our about section, we have our title, description, all these sections here. They should be saved in the database. So we'll need to have our module, the table first being created, and then we create our module. So we'll need to have our migration file first. So in Yii2, I don't think so. In the basic version, if we have a ready migration file, so we'll just create one. Creating one here, just open the terminal. Inside the container, just write php Yii migrate /fresh, not fresh, create, and then the name of the migration, it will be create. This is okay. We'll be creating a lot of the tables here, so I'll just name it app, create app tables, and then press enter. Yes, and we will be having the migration file here, which is just empty. So we will need to copy our migration file that is existing here, since it has been configured already. So if we get in our migrations, we just open it. We need this user table. Since this, if you install the advanced template, you'll have this one inside it. So since I'm using the basic one, we don't have any migration file, so we need to create one for ourselves. So I'll just add this one here in the save app, and then we'll need other. Actually, we are getting this error since it is a new migration file. We need to give permissions again for read, write, and update, all that. So I'll just get into my projects folder, and then I'll give the permissions again. So it is sudo chmod, and then it will be portfolio tutorial. So if we now try saving again, we need to see the error going away. So let's just try saving. Yeah, the dot has gone. So we have everything ready here. Now for a continuation, we can just try, we can now generate the other table. The table that we want to generate here is the about table. So we can see we have the title, we have name, email, address, skill, age, freelance status, experience, language, year of experience, happy client, projects completed, award one. So we need to add these ones as a new table here. So let me just duplicate this one, copy, duplicate. So this is create about table. So the ID is just fine. We don't need, let me just edit this one. So we'll start with the title. The title is a string, then default value will be null, and then we remove this unique part of it. So actually I'll just need to remove these sections which are unnecessary. Even they created art, we don't need it. So we'll just need to duplicate this one, duplicate, and then we go to the next. We have the description, which will be a text. Default value is null. The next one, we have the name, email, and address. Name, email, address. The next one is skill, age, freelance, status. Let's just put the rest and then continue. We have the experience, language, experience, language, language, years of experience. The next one is happy clients, projects completed. And now let me just paste happy clients. The next one is projects completed. Projects, let's just name it projects. The next one is awards. The next one is CV link and fun. CV link and fun. In that section, I think we have covered this part, and then we have the image. I'll need to add that field too. So if we add the image, so we have everything in the about section. So we will need to add the save down. We don't need this code here. So I'll just copy just a sample of how the save down looks. So I'll just copy a sample here. Actually, let me just copy the whole thing. Copy and then paste it in the save down. So in the save down, we'll remove the unnecessary parts. Now here we just have the about. Okay, actually the thing that is happening here, the last table that you're creating, it will be the first one in the safe down, and the first table that you created, it will be the last one. Like when running the function safe down, we will start with the last table that was created. That is just the format. So this code here is always responsible for the, if we have the relationships, I just like having it in the migration file, just in case if I need to have the foreign key, I need to have the foreign key added if we have any relationships in the tables. So for now, let's just create this one. So we need to run the migration. So it is, first we need to get into the container, which is docker exec, and then here it is portfolio, tutorial. Yeah, so after getting inside the container, now we just write php Yii migrate, and then we just write yes, and we'll have the migration created. So let's go to the php admin in the database to see if we have that table created. So localhost 85, just log in, and then we go to the portfolio portfolio tutorial. Yeah, now we can see we have the about table created. Now after creating the about table, we need to make some changes. Now we need to create the model. The model, we just use the G tool to create the model. Now just click the start, and then the table name is about, and then the model will be autofilled down here. It will be named about. The model namespace will be app models. So let's preview, and then we generate. I know we'll get an error. Okay, actually we have everything ready. No, we don't have an error since the model exists. So here we have the model created, which has all the tables and the attribute labels. So we have everything sorted here. Now the next thing we need to do is to now make this form functional. We need this form to be functional. So first of all, we'll need to use the active form. Since in Yii2, what you need to do, all the forms need to have a CSRF token for them to be submitted successfully. Now, instead of submitting them manually, we have the active form provided by the Yii2. We will take advantage of it and use it in the table, in the form. So the first thing we need to do, let's navigate into the form where it is. We have the index for the about. So I'll have to wrap everything here inside the active form. So if we look at an example of an active form, we can just look in one of the files. Actually, let me just use the local files that I have. So in Yii2 portfolio, I can just go and look at the modules, and then in the views about, if I open this, we can just wrap everything inside them, inside the active form. So here we have the active form. So I'll just copy that and then add it in the beginning. We paste it, and then we end it. It needs to have the beginning and the ending. So the end is being written as end. just like that, and then we need to import it from the Bootstrap 5. Now we'll be having our active form ready. Now we need to change these input fields to match with the table, with the model, actually the table that, with the about table, sorry for that. So after that, before we continue even adding the input fields, we need to make sure we initiate the about model inside the controller. So we'll write the model is equal to about, and then find one, and then if not, we create a new model. So in that, we just have to come here in the render, we pass the model, yeah, and everything is just fine. So before we continue even, we need to add the if model in the post request. We need to add it here for the model. If the request is post, then we'll need to save the data and then set the flash. Yeah. So since we have already passed the model, now we can go to the index.php and then add the input fields. The input fields, we can just check how they look here. Let me just copy one. Let me just copy this one, copy that, and then we'll just fix it. So inside this, I just remove the whole thing. We know this one is the title, so paste, and then we know it is the title. And then from control placeholder, we are entering the title. So I'll just copy this, copy, and then reuse it. So in the reusing part, I'll just paste it here, and then here it is the description. And then we actually don't need this part for the CK editor. We will come and cover that later. I'll just show you. So in the name, we just replace it with the name. This one is enter description. This one enter name. Then here enter address. It will be address. Then the last part, it will be address. In the age section, just replace, duplicate, and then it will be age. In this section too, we have experience, duplicate, experience. The next one is years of experience. Now duplicate this one, this year of experience. Here is projects. I can't remember, we just added projects. Then here it will be projects. You will just write CV link. Here we have email, duplicate email, skill, I'm not sure if it is skills or skill. Yeah, it's skill. Freelance status. language, happy clients, happy clients. It will be awards, then phone. Now we are remaining with the image, and then the other one that is remaining, we will need to work on the description. But for now, let's see if we have everything ready and running. So if we refresh, we have a problem about title. We don't have a title in the about. So let me see what is the problem. Yeah, we have a problem. I didn't include the title, so let me just copy this, paste, create the title. And then run the migration again. If you already created the tables, now you need to add this thing in the file, in the command. It will be php migrate then fresh to create the tables again. Then write yes, then yes. Yeah, we have everything okay, everything set. Now we need to create the model again. So it is about model. So I don't know what is wrong. Yeah, we didn't finish the migration. Now if we try again, we have to overwrite the previous one. If we generate, it was successful. Now we can try checking if it will be running well. Years of experience. I'm not sure if it was years of experience or years of experience. It was years of experience. Okay, I made a lot of mistakes. Just fresh. Generate it again. Preview. Overwrite. Generate. Successful. So let's try again. We have about projects. It was projects. I made a mistake on the typing, so it's about, it is projects. Let's review it again if we have any error. So we have everything ready here. Everything has been loaded safely. Now we have something to do. We have some problem. So in the description, it is text. It will be long, so we don't need to use the default description. So I'll need to use a text editor. I love using text editors, so I'll go to the Crage text editor. Crage, it is a composer. Composer editors. You just import them using Composer. So if you get in here, you'll be given the instructions on how to install the editor. You can see I am having some problem. I'm not sure if everything is fine. Just leaving it alone. I'm not sure what is going on, but fast.com. I think my internet isn't working. We'll just add that later. So let me just use the default one that we have. So in the input field for the description, it will be text area. Text area. So if we try refreshing the page, you can see it has some changes. So you just type anything you want here, or the description, yeah, but we'll work on it later. So as long as it is displaying there's no error, we are fine. So the next section, we have the front image and personal information. These things require the packages. So I think let's just leave them for now. I just want to see if we'll be saving, we will have everything ready. So if we try saving here, the title, let's just say 14 days. It won't save anything since, okay, I can see it has saved. If I refresh, no, it hasn't saved anything, you can see. So we specified here we are using our custom ID, which we haven't defined the ID anywhere. So the first thing that I love doing, I have my own script that I created for generating the custom ID. So I'll just have to add the folder for components, not in the migrations. I just want to add it in the root directory. Just new folder, and then name it components. And then the file name is, actually let me just look in the projects that I love using for reference. We have the ID generator. Let me just copy this file and then paste it inside the components. So inside the ID generator, I've created this class ID generator which extends the component, and then we have the UUID. I need to import this. So this one is a package for generating unique IDs. So I've added the timestamp and the random string and hashed it just to make it more unique. So we don't have the package installed yet, since we installed the Yii2 basic just while it is plain. There's no extra packages added. So these ones we'll need to add them ourselves. I'll need to add those packages. So if we just get back into, let me just give you the easier way for doing it. So I have this composer.json file. So we'll need to add these two files. We need to add this UUID, which is responsible for the UID for this package to be installed. So we'll go to our composer.json and add it in the required. Then the next one, there's another package that we'll need. This one, okay. Let's just fix this first. So we'll need to run the composer update afresh, just to make sure it comes with this UUID package. So I'll just run it, composer update. So if we can just look at this ID generator, just give it time. If the package is installed, we'll just get the errors. The errors will just go. We'll have everything clean here. Yeah, let's give it some time. Yeah, it has finished installing, so the errors will just leave in a few minutes. Yeah, they are gone. We can just use the, what is the name, CK editor. This is the one that I used last time, so let's just try installing it. The composer.json, I'll just add it here, CK editor. No, I haven't copied yet. So CK editor, copy, and then paste it here. The version, let me just take the latest one. So after adding that, I'll just run the composer update command again. Yeah. Now we are installing CK editor in our application. So we are having it. Yeah, it has finished installing, so we can just use the CK editor. In my code here, I can just take one of the examples on how to use CK editor. Here we have the code. Now I'll just replace the one that we had pasted last time. So I'll just undo, and then I'll replace the whole of this code with the one that we are having for CK editor. So we have the description. If we try to view the page now, we should have something. Yeah, we have the CK editor. Now we can write in bold, italics, which is much better to use that. Now we have another thing that we need to change, the saving part. We actually, let's finish the front end part, and then we'll go to the back end. Here we have the front image. The front image, we can use another package, which is from Kartik, which is the file input, which you can just find it here. The file input Kartik. File input. Yeah, now installing it, we'll just need to use this, where the code is for installation. Yeah, we have this. So just copy the require, dev master, then in your terminal you just type composer, then paste, and it will be installed. It will be added inside this composer file. You can see it has been added. We have finished installing and everything is fine. Now, using it in our view page, we want it in this section for the file input. So I have a sample for the input section. So let me just remove all these files. I just don't need them. So I'll just open the file. Yeah, the file input widget, it will just look like this. We have it here. Now we just go and copy it and paste it in this section. So we'll replace all this form until we replace with our file input, then import it. Now we need to have this image file. It was named image, but now we are uploading an image file, so we'll just name it image file, and then in our about model we'll create another we'll add another field which we just write public, then image file. Yeah, so after that we need to add it here in the rules, which is PNG and JPG, which is just fine. So after adding it here, we have everything ready, but we are remaining with one model we need to add for just uploading the image file, which I created it earlier. It is inside the components. We'll just copy this file and then paste it inside our components. Now here is the code that is inside the components, inside the upload.php file. So I have a class upload, which is accepting the form attribute and the attribute and the model too. So I'll just show you how I use it. This is the whole code actually. So I need to import it in my controller so that I can upload the image well. So uploading the image, I have specified we are uploading it inside the web and inside the uploads directory, which currently we don't have it. So I'll need to create it. So in the web, I need to create a new directory named uploads. So inside the uploads, so everything will just be uploaded inside the uploads folder. So I just need to provide the permissions again to make sure that it is writable. So after that, we need to now work on the controller action for the creation of the file, on the saving part. So we currently don't have the ID. We need to assign it here. When we upload, we submit the data, we need to assign the ID first here, upload the image if it exists, and then we save. I have a file that I created earlier that is responsible for that, just to make the work easier. So I'll just get into the modules and then controllers, about controller. So in my create controller, I'll just use this action index. So I'll just copy this and then paste it inside. Now this one is responsible for the upload of the uploading of the image, and then this one is responsible for the ID generation. Yeah, this is calling the class that we just created here, and then this other one is responsible for the upload, this class. So actually currently we haven't imported them. We just need to import that, import the ID generator, then import the Yii. This one is for the flash. So I just need to change. So this one is the image file that we just specified in the index. Let me close this one, which I am not to use right now. This image file is the one that we are passing as the second parameter, and then the last parameter is the name. That is the field in the database that will be storing the name of the file that we are uploading. So we named it as image. If you can just see it here, we named it as image. Yeah. So after passing it, I think we have everything ready here. So let's try saving something. About photo, we have a problem in the view. It's not about photo, it is image. So let's try refreshing. Now we have everything ready. So title, we said Fortune Devs. name is done, email, let's say this, address, skill, front-end and backend, age, let's say 20, status available, experience 2 years, language English, and Kiswahili. Years of experience 4 years, happy clients, let's say just 5, projects completed 5, awards won 3, CV link, I'll just leave it empty for now. Let me just use an asterisk hash. Phone number is this one. Let's try saving. So after the saving, we can see everything saved successfully. Now I will prefer using a CDN that will just be having the toaster appearing here if the saving was successful. So I'll just use ChatGPT to give me the CDN links. For toaster. I will just need to copy for the CSS one. I add it inside the assets for the admin. Paste it. I'll just come back later to fix it. So we need the JavaScript part of it and add it inside the JavaScript. Just need to remove this and these two. Then remove these two. Now we have the CDN links imported well. Now for this to work, I have some code written somewhere that will make this thing easier to use. So I'll just use inside the inside the module, just use the layout, CMS layout. This code that I like using for the Flash. Yeah, this one. Let me just copy the whole of it. Copy the whole of it, and then I'll go to my layout inside the module. Where are you? Layout. The admin, I'll just add it before just the body end. So after having this here, we can try saving again and see if we'll see the toaster. We have a problem. Let me inspect and see the errors that we are having. We have a problem here, so let me try removing some things in there. I think there's something conflicting. So jQuery and the data tables. Just refresh and see if we have any of the errors are reduced. Try saving. Yeah, we can see we have the toaster appearing, but we still have a problem. So I think we still have a problem. So let's just leave it that way. We'll sort it later. Now the button, we need, actually you can see I have to click it twice for it to submit, since it's not the one provided by Yii. So I'll just copy one that I created earlier and then use it. So I have a button here, then just paste it in this section. It is primary button. No, I need to copy this whole button, then paste it here. Now we need to import this HTML. It is inside it is a bootstrap. So if you refresh, now just click once and everything is submitted fine. So if we come here in the front image, we can try uploading something. Front image, this is my image, my photo that I used it earlier. So we need to have a button too there. I need this button for it to be submitted well. Just add it here, paste, and try refreshing. Go to the front image, choose, and then just try to save. We are being told everything is successful here. So if we try to see, we have the image appearing. If we go to the uploads directory, we can see we have the image uploaded fine. So everything is working well. So the next thing, we need to do now is continue with the rest. Since we have everything testing, or let me just get to my portfolio, Fortune Devs, and copy what I wrote here. Just copy that, then paste it inside, and then save. So we have everything here. So given that we have sorted that, we can now add the education. We can work on the education. So before I continue, I just want to work on the sidebar. We are having a lot of fields which we are not using currently. So I'll just comment them out. I'll just leave the ones that we are using. So if I refresh, we can now have the education, which doesn't exist now. So we will need to create that model first in our education. So if I get back into my portfolio, say the education, so admin index, if I log in, we have the education section. So in each education that we are providing, we have the title, description, the year, and the status. So let's add that field in the migration. So let me just copy this one, copy, and then paste. Here it will be education. And then we have the ID. Let me just confirm. We have the title, description, year. Title, description, year. And then status. The rest are unnecessary. So having that in place, the description will be text, which is just fine, and then the rest we can just work with that. So after creating that, we just need to get into that containers terminal, which is Docker, the exec portfolio tutorial, and then PHP Yii migrate, or let me just migrate fresh, then yes. So everything is just working fine. Let's go to the local hosts database and see if we have that table existing. We have the education table here. So we need to now generate the model. So we go to the G model generator, and then we have our education. The name is education, then generate it. Now we have our education model existing. So here we'll need to create a CRUD. It is a CRUD application where we'll just have different, you can see we have different education levels here. We have, so after, if you see it looks like this, I prefer using CRUD. So it will generate the index page, it will generate the form for create and update, and also you'll have the delete action. So it will generate everything for you by default. So I'll just come here, generate the CRUD, the class is inside the models, and then it is named education. And then here in the search model, it is inside the admin, then it is education search. In the controllers, it is education controller view path, it will be education. If we preview, we can see we don't have this directory existing, the models. Now we need to create it first. So we get into the module, we have the controllers, but we don't have the models. So inside the admin, I'll create a new directory, name it models, and then give it permissions again. Yeah, so after that we can try generating it afresh. So preview, everything is just fine, then generate. So we have everything in place. To confirm if we have everything generated successfully, now I can just go to education. We can see we have them generated successfully. Now we need to load the layout for the admin module. So in the controllers, we just take one of the code that we wrote earlier, and then just fix it here. If we refresh, you can see everything is just working fine. Now, just not to waste a lot of time, we need to work on the create page, which if we open our add education, we are being given this page. Now I need to copy everything that is in the main tags. So until here before the closing tag for the main. So I'll need to go into the education form, which has been created by the G, and then I'll just paste it here. Let's see if we have the code correctly being displayed. If we refresh, now we have the code here. Now to make everything much easier for us, we just need to copy this, paste here, opening tags, and then we have the closing tags. This end. So the first thing is the title and the description. So copying the title. Actually, I have made a mistake. And the title isn't, it is a string, not text, which is just fine. It doesn't make much of a difference. So if I get into the form, I'll just copy this, the title, find where we have the title, and then replace it. Now here it is the title, it is text input. Yeah, just remove this, you don't need it. Now we can add the years, having it here, and then description. In the description part, we can just replace this with the description. So the next one, let's just see if everything is working fine. Refresh, we have the title, description here. Now the status is the one that we haven't worked on. So I have the code for it, in my module. So it's in the education form. So let's just take the button only. It's here. So let's just copy until the empty4. Copy that, then replace it. Empty4. Just paste it, and we have everything sorted. So here it will be just status. So having that in place, you can see the button is just working fine. So the next thing is just removing the default one that was created by Yii2. Now we have a clean code. Now we have a problem. We have this duplicate. So we just go to the create and remove the title. And also in the update, remove the title, so that we just have our own custom title up there. So we have everything ready. Now this button has a problem. We need to use the one that is made of Yii. So let me just redo. I take the button, copy it, and then undo. So in the button section, we just have to, it has, let me just add it down here and then we'll edit well. So I need this class. I think that's all. Here it will be save changes. So remove that, try refreshing. So you just click it once and it is working. So currently we have some errors. So I'll just need to add the same code inside the controller, where we'll need to define actually right now let me just write it so that you can see what is happening here. So I'll just, before saving, I'll just add this one here, then the post request I need to assign the ID first. So ID, it will be model ID generator. We have it here. So we need to import the generator, which is already imported. Now if model is saved, we can just return redirects to, let's move this, or redirects to index. We don't need the ID part of it. And then if it fails, we just get the flash. We need to have the flash here too. So that is sorted. Also in the update is just fine. We just need the flash. And then just remove this, cut it, so we need to have if it's model save. Just close it. Yeah, it's not this index. I think everything is just sorted. We don't need the ID part. So we have almost everything ready here. Now if we try saving, we can see we have something saved. We can now try to update it. Title is primary, description, my primary school life, year 2025 to 2015, 2014. The status is active, so just save it. We can see, yeah. So actually in the view now, we don't need the ID. You can just display what we have there. I'm not sure of what I'm doing, but what is really happening here? What am I doing? Education view. I'm not sure of what is happening. Education index. Oh, it's not. It's in the index. I need to remove it. So if I refresh, now we have everything ready here. Now for the status part, I have the code. You can see here, if the status is active, we get this. If it is inactive, it will just, let me just edit this one and you will just see. If it is inactive, you get it. So the code that is responsible for that, I'll just get it from my index file here. Then you just need to add this one, copy and paste it for the status part. So let's see if it will look the same. We have the education status, which is wrong. It is just status. Duplicate. Now we have the active. If I edit it and put it off, we can see we have it disabled. This is just working fine. So we have our education just fine. Now the remaining thing here, we are having, we have finished the education part. Now we have the portfolio, my projects that I may have created. So the first thing I need to do is create the table first. So in our portfolio, if we go to the edit, we have our form. We have the title, description, the URL, status, and the image. So we just go in our migration file and create one. So copy this, paste, and then instead of education, duplicate, it will be portfolio. So we will have our title, cut, paste, title, description, URL, status, and image. Now having that in place, we can now copy, no, actually not copying first, run the migration, migrate fresh, then yes. So we are making a mistake here. We added our last one was about, so after about is education portfolio. So copy, our last one is portfolio, then the previous one is education. Yeah, now let's run the migration afresh. Yes. So we have our portfolio table created. Now we need to generate the model. So portfolio, now just preview it and then generate. Now we have our portfolio existing. Now we need to generate the CRUD. Now we have the portfolio. Here it is there. Just copy the name and then replace it. The portfolio view path, it will be portfolio. So I think everything is just fine here. Generate the CRUD, make sure everything is fine. Just confirm it, everything is working. Now open the education instead of education, write portfolio. Now we have everything ready. Now the first thing we need to do is to use the admin layout. So just pick one and then go to the portfolio and add it there. If we refresh, we have everything ready. Now the next thing, we just need to work on this portfolio form. So if we get here, we just copy the form, right click, inspect page source, and then copy the code from here in the main div. So copy that, and then we go to our form in the portfolio form. Just paste it down here. Just confirm if everything is displaying well. The portfolio, now we have everything being displayed well here. Now the next thing we need to do is now use the active form, which is just copying this, add it here, opening, and in the closing. Now the first thing, we need to copy the title, add it in this place. We have the title. The next one is the description. Copy the description. Okay, we'll come and work on the description, so don't worry. We have the URL here, just replace it, and then we have the status. In the status, we wrote the code somewhere in the education. We have that button. We'll just copy this, the MT4. Copy the button, then go to the portfolio, the button MT4, replace the whole of MT4. We have the status, which is just fine. Now in the image, we can take it from, I'm not sure if in which form we used it, in the about actually. So in the about, we had this one added for the image file. Copy that and then go to the portfolio form, replace the image. So in this text area, text center, just paste it. Now we need to import the file input. After importing the file input, now we can now add, I'm not sure if we have finished everything here. No, we haven't finished. We need a button. Copy. So in the button, just replace it with the primary class and then paste, delete this one. Now we can get an error. We will get an error here since we haven't created the image file. Yeah, so we need to add it in the model first. So adding it in the model, we can just get into the general models in the education, not education, but in the about, we have this code, and then put it in the portfolio, paste, and then we have this other part for the rules. Copy it in the portfolio, add it in the rules section, just paste it. If we refresh, now we can see everything is just working fine. But now we have a problem. I haven't closed the active form. It's just the beginning, so I need to end for it to be aligned well here. Now we have everything fine. So I think everything is just aligned well. The description part is the one that we haven't fixed yet. So if we get into the education form, we have, is it actually description? I think the about is the one we used, the CK editor. Now I'll just need the CK editor here. Let me format it well. And then I'll add it inside the portfolio. So this whole code will be replaced by the description CK editor, and then we'll import it. Now after importing, we can see everything is just working fine. Is it education? No, it was portfolio. Yeah, we have everything ready. So we need to remove this one. Did I edit the wrong file? No. Now we don't need this. Yeah, we don't need it. So if I try refreshing, I should have everything just fine. Yeah, everything is already here. Now we need to work on the saving part of it. So in just the same mode, we can get in the portfolio and then make some changes. Just to avoid wasting a lot of time, I'll just copy this for the if section. Let's go for the create first. Copy this in the portfolio and then replace the create with the code. Then import the ID generator. And then import this one. And then this one is portfolio. Now duplicate and then replace with portfolio. Yeah. After saving, it will go to the index page. So the same way, we can just go to the education and copy the update. Portfolio, we have the update. Just replace it. The update section, we just replace the education with portfolio, which is just fine. In our portfolio, you can see we have our file. So I'll need to use the file input, which is here. Just add it in the create and the update. Add it in the create, import it, upload, and then in the update we can also add it before the save. Paste it, and then we named it image. I'm not sure of the name, but control, I think it's image. Yeah, it's image. So in our portfolio we have everything ready. Now let's try saving something. So let me remove the title. So inside our portfolio, in our create, remove the title, and then inside our update, remove the title too. So if we refresh, we need to have a clean code. So our title portfolio is e-commerce testing, and then URL http blah 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 blah. yeah, enable it. Just select an image of the e-commerce. Let me check the screenshots. We have an e-commerce site here. Just save, and everything is saved just fine. Now we need to confirm if we have the image. Yeah, it is uploaded well. We have it here, meaning everything is just working fine. So actually I forgot to add it in the sidebar. So we have the portfolio. Now let's uncomment it and try to access it using the sidebar. Now we have our portfolio. You can access it here. You can just edit and do many things. So inside our index in the portfolio, let's remove the ID. We don't need it. So we have everything in place. In the education, we need just a few code. We need this for the status. Index instead of the status, let's replace it. So just refresh and we have everything ready here. So we have our portfolio ready. Yeah, we can create, we can update. Yeah, and we can also view if you want. Yeah, so after that, the next thing is, let's go to the admin and see. We have our contact. Inside our contact, we have these 3 sections. So for it to work, we need to create a new table in the database for contact. Yeah, just copy this, copy, paste, and rename it to contact. Inside our contact, we can just look at it. We have the info, address, email, and phone. Info, address, don't need this. Info, this is info, address, this is contact info. Contact info, address, email, phone, and then that last one, social links. The social links, we have Facebook. The next one is Instagram, GitHub, LinkedIn, I'm not sure if it's named that way, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, GitHub, WhatsApp, and Twitter. I think that is just fine. So the next thing I'll need to do is now run the migration again. So migrate fresh, yes. Now having the contact created, now we need to create the model contact. Yeah, we just generate it. So having it in place, now we'll need to create a controller for it, contact controller. So we just name it contact controller index view path. It will be this one, then it will be named contact. Yeah, just preview it. and then generate. So if we try accessing that file, we need to have it. So contact, we have it, so we need to change them. The first thing we need to change is the layout. So let's just copy one of the layouts, copy the layout, and then go to the contact, and then add it there. So if you refresh, we have a contact section just working fine. So we just need to go into our file and then copy the code for the contact page. So if I just get here, copy this until this section, copy that, and then in our contact index we just paste that. So let's preview it and see if everything is just working fine. So refresh, everything is just working fine. Now the same way we did with the about section, we just do the same with the contact. So copy the opening tags and then replace them here, paste, and then paste on the closing here to end. We need to import the form, which is just imported the right way. So the next thing is adding the fields, contact info, address, and then the button for the email. So let's just get in the about page and do the necessary, or let me just take the input fields here, which is just easier to use. So in the contact, I'll just go the info, replace with this title. It's not title actually. No, it is info. It is contact info. In the address, it will just be address. And then in the email, it will just be email. It will be just form. And then social links, we have Facebook. Here it will be Twitter. And then here it will be Instagram. And then GitHub. And then here it will be WhatsApp. Now we need to take our buttons that we use on this side. We just need a button only. So in our contact, replace the buttons, paste. And then we have this button to paste. So we actually don't need this form. Let's import this one first, and then let's remove this form. It's not required. And then in the opening, let's just find the form where it starts. Yeah, we don't need this. Yeah, delete all of them. Also in the about, we actually don't need the form. Duplicate, delete it. The ending tags, duplicate, delete. So I think everything is just fine here. Now what we'll just need to do is just preview the form. We have undefined model. Yeah, actually we need to have it initialized in the, is it contact or, yeah, it's contact. Now we need to have the model is equal to contact find, or it's new. So if it's post we have this contact saved successfully. Model ID, it will be ID generator. Generate unique ID. Yeah, we have that in place. If not, yeah, we'll just get the error. Now I haven't called it here, so we just have everything ready. If I refresh now, we have a clean code. We have a Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, email, social links. Yeah, let me just try saving my email to be Ong'udi and phone number. Yeah, if I save, I think, yeah, they are saved. Address is Longer Road. Contact information, Ukunda Diani. Just save. Yeah, we have everything ready now in Facebook. Ong'udi done. Instagram done. GitHub Ong'udi done. WhatsApp is 0768540720. Twitter, I'm not in Twitter, but let's just assume I have an account there. Ong'udi done. Then save. So we have everything saved correctly. Now our portfolio, no, we need to add the contact now in the sidebar. We have the contact and comment it. Now we have everything ready for the contact. Here it's just saving fine. So the next section that we need to work on is the settings. So I need to have these things stored in the database. First thing, we need to create the table. So the table will be created by, let's just copy one of these. No, I need a simple one. Copy this, paste, and then it will be settings. So having our settings, we have the ID. Now let's see what we need. It's the site name, site description. Before I forget, let me just add them here. Site name, site description. The next one, we have the logo. So it will be logo and favicon. They're always working together, so we need to have them both. So in the next, we have the search engine optimization. We have the meta title. Next one is we need to have the meta tags. The next one is meta description. Meta description. Yeah, I think that's all we have here. Now we need to add them. Copy. So here it is, settings. And then the one that is following is contact. So we have everything ready here. Now just run the migration. Yes, all that is set. Now we need to have that model created first. Model generator, we have settings, model class, then preview, generate. Now we need to have the settings controller. It will be just settings, then index view path is settings. Now having that in place, just preview and then generate. So let me just make sure the sidebar has the settings too. So uncomment, and then let's go to the site and see if we have everything ready. So in the settings we have the page loading, but we don't have the layout loaded, so let's fix that. In the education, let's copy the layout and then go to the settings and then paste it. So if we refresh the page, we need to have the layout loaded. So having everything set here, we need to copy the view page, which is just starting from here. We just go until this place. Now inside our settings index, inside our index for the settings, we just need to replace the content with the one that we have copied. So if I refresh, we have everything loaded. The same way we did with the contact portfolio, with the contact and the about, we'll just do the same. So in the settings, we'll have to import, use the active form. So just to make it easier, we have the about, get inside it, copy the active form begin. In the settings, we start it and then we end it in the end section. So this one will be end, and then we just import it from here. That is already sorted. Now we have everything ready here. Now it's just using the only thing remaining here now is the input fields. So I'll just copy one, then go to the settings. In the settings, I have the site name, just paste and then rename it site name. Site description, yeah, we can just use the text area. Site description, and then this one will be text area. Here in this search meta, all these ones will be meta title. I think if I put it text area, will be much better. This one will be meta title, text area. Meta tags also will be text area, so let me just copy this one. So meta tags, search engine, meta description. So this will be meta description. Then we need the buttons. So the save button, copy this. The settings, I just replace this one. Save changes. I know we have to import this one. No, import this. This is the bootstrap. Then the next one, we need to have the button here. So I'm not sure. Okay, here you have the logos. So inside the logo, we can just try using this div. No, let me just create them first. So in our not contact, in our about, we had our file imported somewhere. So using the same format, file, in the index, I'll just need to add it here. In the text center, add this file input. Now the first one will be logo file. And then here it won't be image, it will just be logo. This is the name that we are saving in the database, but this one is the one responsible for the file upload. So just don't confuse it. So if I copy this and then duplicate it, so the second one will be favicon. fav icon. What is really going on here? Duplicate. So this one will be fav icon. Yeah. So we don't need this form anymore here. So these forms are not required. So delete this one too. Delete. Now we have the card body. Also here we have the card body. So the only thing we need is the row. But let me just copy this card body, come and paste it here. Card body, and then in this section we just paste this and then replace the input fields. Cut, paste, and then this one too. Cut and then paste it here. I think everything is just fine. So now we need to add this file, logo file, and the favicon file inside the settings model. Now here we have the public icon. Is it logo? Favicon file. Yeah, now I need to add them here. So having that in place, we can now refresh and see if we have any error. We don't have the model, which is actually right. So in the saving, we'll just use this one. Actually, let me copy everything, then I'll just edit in the settings. So if I paste here, we have some changes. This one is true. It will be settings model. Now in the upload, we'll have two files. So we'll be uploading the logo, and the second one it will be favicon. We need to generate ID, then it will be, let's import the Yii, then it will be settings saved successfully. Yeah. So if we try refreshing, actually we haven't passed it in the view. So here, just add this. We have the model. If you refresh, everything is working fine. Now we have the logo. So to make this appear in a more organized way, I'll just give ChatGPT to help me just in a very fast copy. Then using ChatGPT, make this input to be in a row using bootstrap. Yeah, we have our code ready. I just paste it and confirm if it's working. Inside the logo we have everything set. Now we can just upload anything you want. Let me just try something. Browse this one and then save. We have everything saved in the logo. Yeah, it's working. Site name is Fortune, and then site description Fortune devs. Yeah, save the changes. Meta title Fortune, meta tags portfolio. Fortune. Yeah, we have everything being saved the right way. So we have done all that, which is just working fine. The profile section, we haven't done anything on it, so I think we'll do it later. Actually, you can just do it, but for now the time is much gone, and I don't think if that will be necessary for now, but we can see our site is just working fine. We have everything in place. So the only thing that we need to do right now is to render these things in the home page. Now, doing the same thing, we just need to clone the home page. So we have our index. We have finished the work of the module. Now we can go to our front end, which we have the index page, which is this one. Now in our Fortune devs, we now go to our home page, which is this one. Now I'll just copy the code for the backend. Now the copy for the front end. So let me just copy everything first. Copy and then paste everything here. Paste everything here. Now having everything in place, now I need to import these assets in my front-end assets file, which is called the app assets. So in our CSS, paste this one, and the next one will be the style. Copy this, paste it. Is there anything else that we need? There are only two. We don't have the GIS, so let's just work with that. So I know the part isn't right, so we need to replace that. So duplicate. It is inside web / portfolio / and then you can see we have the CSS files. Yeah, they're all inside the CSS file. So if I try loading the localhost now, just without the other things, we can see we have this, which is actually not bad, but it isn't just organized well. I'm not sure if it is portfolio. The site, web, portfolio, CSS and JS. CSS all mean. Now we don't have the all mean first, so we need to get it. So let me just close all this. Now inspect again, not inspect. It's just view page source. CSS all mean. We need to create this file. Copy and then create a new file. Just call that. Copy everything, then paste it there. Just format it for better visual appearance. And then the next one will be having the style. The style, copy the name, then create a new file. paste the name, style.css, copy everything that is inside, and paste. So if we try reloading the page, I think we should have some changes. Yeah, we have some changes. Now since we are using our own CSS files, I think it will be much better to disable the bootstrap. So if I refresh now, I can see we have something. So I need to remove the unnecessary parts. So the only thing we need here is now is the navigation bars. So just copy them, select everything, not everything actually. I'll just have to remove here, then paste. So if I refresh, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why everything is working this way, but I can just go to the layout. I know there is where we have the problem. So in the layout, remove the unnecessary parts. Head, footer, we don't need the footer. In the body class, we don't need these classes. In main, we don't need this. In the alert, we don't need this. In the div class, we also don't need that. So if we refresh, yeah, now we have everything being displayed. Yeah. So for us to fetch the images, actually we don't need the images right now. So in the index site, we can see we have the navigation bar here and also this navigation bar. So these ones are constant, so I'll just need to create the components folder to separate them, and then since they're responsible for this, so in all the pages they'll be available, so I just need to replace them, put them in the layout so that they can be reused. So in the layout, I'll create a new folder named components, and then I'll have the top. Okay, I'm not sure of the name. If you open the code for the site, not the site, yeah, navbar, it's navbar. So let me just rename it as top navbar.php. Yeah, and then we have the bottom. So if you go to the site, so you just copy this, it will be in the top navbar, and this other one should be in the bottom navbar. So if we look in the site index, they're just appearing on their own, so we'll just import them directly in the main layout. So in the body, we'll just import just this render components, then top navbar, just the same code to just appear a bit below. So this one should be bottom. So if we refresh, I know they'll appear in a duplicate manner, which is just fine. So if I remove them, let's see if we have everything still displaying. Yeah, we still have them here. Yeah, we have them. So in the same way we did with the menus, we can also do that here using an array. So I can just place PHP, so menus, yeah, we have almost everything ready here. In the URL part, we will use site, then this one will be index, this section will be site, and then about, this section will be site, then portfolio, and then this one will be site, then contact. So inside our loop here, we'll just create the PHP loop. Actually, we have everything set. We'll just end the loop. So I'll just comment this one out and see what is happening. You don't have the URL. So we have a problem with that. We will not be using the URL, we'll be using the action. So the action here it will be index. No, we will have the URL and the action too. Index. Here we'll have the action, about, here to action portfolio, then action contact. So here we'll just have the if the menu action is equal to action. Now I need to have the action here on top. So action is equal to Yii action ID. Yeah. So that in place, we can just try refreshing the page and see what we have. Yeah, they are displayed well. Yeah, now we need to just do the same for the other bottom navigation bar. So just paste it here and then just do the same. Yeah, and it is sorted. Just comment this out and see if it's working. Now everything is just working fine. Now if everything is working fine, just remove the rest of the code that is not in use. Removing it, now we have everything fine. Contact section, we have the home, about, portfolio is the one that doesn't exist. So we have everything in place. So it's just fixing the data. So the first thing, let's start with the index, just to be systematic. So in our index, we have the site controller. In our index, we will be having our about. Is it about? Let me go to our dashboard. Just admin. It's about. We have the title and the description. So we need to pass it. So about model. It will be about, then find one. So I'll just pass it here. Yeah, so if you get in the site, we have the, let me just check the title and description. So here, hi, I am, this one will be the name, just echo the about model, then it will be the name. If it's not, just echo nothing. Then here it will be title, about model, then title. If it's not set, just echo nothing. Then here it will be the description. So let me just, we have the description here. So echo about model, then description. If it is not set, just echo nothing. Here it is the phone number, so just echo the about model, then phone. If it's not set, echo nothing. Yeah, so let's see if we have everything ready. Yeah, we don't have anything set yet. So actually, let me just fill the admin dashboard that we had created with the data. So localhost 30. So we are going to admin. So inside the admin about me. So let me just copy the data, copy, paste the description part, copy, paste name, paste email, Ong'udi address, longer road skill, Frontend Backend, age 20, available experience 2 years, language English and Kiswahili, 4 happy clams, 5 projects, 5 hours, 3 hash. Let's save that. So if we go to our home page now, where is it? If we refresh, we have our data. Now I need to have the image too, so let me upload the image. So if we open the dashboard, let me just upload the image that I was using. So just save the changes. Now we have the image saved, but now we need to make some tweaks in the code. So our image is stored in the, it is stored in the web uploads, and then now we need to load the URL in the database, the name of the image. So it will be about model, then image. If not set, just echo empty. So if we try to reload this one, we can see our image here. So the next thing, we need to go to the about section and work on that. On the about, let me just go to the real project and see what we have in the about. 14 days. In the about section, now is where we can now copy everything here. View page source, copy everything in the section. We need all the section. The navigation bar already exists in the layout, so there's no problem. So just paste this one here in our about. Let's just fetch it. Here we have the code, but this one is hard coded. So what we'll need to do now is to pass the about model in the site controller. So we have the about. Where is it? Now here, so we need to add the about model, find one. Then we also are passing the education model, find all. So in the education we have that. So yeah, now having this in place, now the work is much easier for us now. So we'll just go to the about page, and then let's fix the app part first. So about, we have let me open the dashboard for the admin and see. We have the name, email, address, all that. So loading them here, we can just load the about, echo about model, and then name. If it doesn't exist, echo nothing. So let's just copy this one for ease. And this one will be age, this one will be email, the next one will be address. Is it really address? This one will be freelance status. This one skills. Yeah, this one will be experience. This one will be language, because it actually runs languages. Where is the migration file? Okay, it's language. It will be language. So experience. It will be years of experience. Happy clients. This one will be projects. This one will be awards. Let me just try and see if everything is loaded well. Yeah, everything is just working fine. Now in the images we have this, so I'll just load them. It will be web, then storage. So inside our web I'll add the storage, or let's just leave them the way they are for now. So in the education section, so we'll have this. So we'll have for each PHP, then for each education model as raw. just add this. So at the end of it, we just use this. So here it will be row, then year, and this one will be row title. If there's no year, we just echo empty. Now since we are just reusing this, let me just copy it. So paste here, and this one will be title, and then here it will be description. Paste, and then description. Now we don't need this code here, so let me try refreshing. We don't have any education. So if we go to our Fortune devs and try, actually let's just pick one and create one education. Education, we don't have anything, create one. The description, we have this. The title, copy that, paste. The year is this one, paste. Status is active. Now if we go back to the view, not the view, into about, we need to have something. Yeah, here we have the education. So if we go to our portfolio, we have nothing. So we need to have that action. So site controller, we don't have that action for portfolio, so we need to add it. So just paste, instead of about, it will be just portfolio. Action about, it will be folio, and then the next one, it will be portfolio. Actually it is not about, it is portfolio. So this render portfolio, we don't need the about model, so we just need the portfolio education. It is about, it is the portfolio. So having our portfolio ready, now we need to create that view inside the site views. So inside the site, I need to create a new file called portfolio.php. So inside the portfolio.php, I need to go to the actual portfolio, and then I'll just view the page source. And then after the navigation, we have the section. So copy the section, come and paste everything here. Now if I refresh in my page not found here, now we have the code being displayed, but we don't have the actual data. Now let's replace them with our actual portfolio information. So here it will be for each PHP for each portfolio model as row. So just use this and then close it here. Yeah, now the rest are not required. Let me just comment them for now. And then the image, it will be found in the web uploads, and then here we'll just have the row, echo the row, then image. If not available, just echo empty. Now we just use this code, copy, and then in the e-commerce website, this is the title, then this one will be the description. I think it's the description. And then this one, I'm not sure. For the portfolio, we have the URL. Okay, this URL. Now in this section, just paste and then URL. Yeah, that's all we need there. Now we can just put portfolio model. We have a problem here. Action portfolio. Okay, I don't know what is happening, but getting an in portfolio model. Is there a problem with the naming or site controller? Oh, I can see. I don't have T in this section. This portfolio. Now here I don't have any portfolio, so I can just try copying some of this description. Let me create a new portfolio. So create one. Description is this. The title, just e-commerce. Just add it first. Then the URL. We can just leave it that way. The image, I can just load the screenshot e-commerce and then save. Having a portfolio, now we can just try to refresh and see if we have a portfolio. Now if I add a new one, let me add this one, copy inside the portfolio, create a new one, paste, and then go and take the title, copy the title, paste it, and then copy an image, which is this one, status active. Now if I come back here and refresh, we have everything ready. Now there's one thing remaining. So we have the contact section. So inside the contact section, we just need to do the same here. I'll need to copy this page source and then copy the section tags, and then I'll go to the contact. So inside our contact, I'll just replace all this code with our contact form, our contact code. So if I try refreshing our contact, we have everything ready here. Now we need to replace the content with the one that is inside the contact. So as in our site, we need to pass the contact. So let me just copy this and then find the contact. We don't need the form, so remove this, paste, and then instead of about, it will be contact. So about model, copy, this one will be contact model. Copy this, and then inside this model, replace it with contact model. So after having that, we can go into the contact and then replace the links. Actually, not the links actually. So I'll just replace the usernames. So it will be contact model, then this one will be Facebook. If not set to be empty, I'll just replace everything with this. So Twitter, copy, and then say the Twitter, this one will be Twitter, this one will be Instagram, this one will be WhatsApp, this one will be GitHub. Now having that in place, you can see we have the font awesome icons being loaded, but now we have a problem. The icons are not loading. So to fix that, I'll just get the font awesome. Now here we can have the CSS, and then we put them in the assets, in the app assets that is responsible for the front end. So just paste this one here. If there is anything else we need, let's just refresh and see if everything is fine. So refresh, yeah, here we have the icons. They have been loaded fine. So I think the site is just working fine for now. And now there's one trick that I want to show you. Okay, I need these images, so let me just fix them right now. Now the portfolio, it is the about section, so let me just set the image and the desktop, new folder, icons. Inside the icons, save this one. Also save image inside the icons, JavaScript. Save image, jQuery. Save image. So I'll just copy everything inside the icons, just copy them, and then I just add them inside the, I don't know the path that was being used. It was not inside the about, it was the contact, not is it contact really? About, yeah, it was in the about, so it is in the storage. So I'll just create a folder, name it storage. So inside the storage, I'll just paste the icons there. So inside the web storage, let me just remove the skills. Now I add the /. So if I refresh here, where is it? If I refresh now, we should have the pictures. Yeah, we can see everything is just working fine. In the contact section, I think we haven't finished everything. Is it right? Contact, yeah, I haven't finished yet. So contact model, copy this. Here it will be the address, paste, then this one will be address. Here it will be the email, then the rest will be WhatsApp, and then here contact title. I'm not sure if it was the title, but let's see if we have any errors. So let me just add the information inside the database. So portfolio, we have the about, the contact doesn't have anything. So if we go into the contact, we can check the address, copy address, and then contact info. Email is this one. Email fun 768. Social links, we have Ong'udi, Instagram, Ong'udi, WhatsApp. Yeah, save that. So if I try, yeah, this one is contact, what is the name? Contact info. So I just missed this contact info. So if I try to refresh, I should have something with the information. I don't have the contact info. So copy this, and then in the localhost contact info, paste, save, and then try to refresh. We have our contact info. Now we can see everything is working fine. So what we need to do right now is to make this page a single page application, which is much easier than you think. So inside our main layout, I'll just need to add 2 lines, actually 3 lines, to make it have that feature. So if I go to my projects, let me check and take that code. Yeah, in my views layout, in my main, I just need to add 2 lines. Just copy this. So in our main, in our body, just here, no, need to copy the whole line, paste that, and then I need to add the end line, ending tags for the pjax. So I'll be using pjax for that purpose. So if you import pjax, it will make the page, the site a single page application. So just wrap everything to be inside the pjax tags. So right now, if I refresh and then try to navigate, you can see, just look up here, there's nothing being refreshed. So if you go to home, you go to about, yeah, everything is just working fine. So if I open the site, so everything is working fine. So in my configuration, if I change this to prod, I want to remove this thing here for debugging. So if I refresh, it will be gone. So I'll just have my application running very well without any problem. Now I think we have made this successful. There's only one thing remaining for now, the login section. The login section is the one that has a problem. We haven't fixed that. So in our dashboard, we need to work on the logout. So let's just search top bar, where we have the logout. So the logout action is actually in the site controller. Site controller, we have the logout action here. So we just need to call it there. So if I close everything and then open top bar, and then I just need to call the URL helper, then it will be heading to site, then logout. Yeah, that is just sorted. In the profile, I think right now I'll just have to comment the profile. So that we just have the settings one should be heading to the settings controller. So just copy this, copy, and then replace this code here. This one will be in the admin, and then settings /index. I think that's right. So if we refresh and then go to the settings, it is going to the settings direct. So we have everything is set, and our dashboard is working fine. Now we have a problem. We don't have a user. We need to add those security measures in our application. So we need to set up our login page. So the login page is always in the site, then login, and our page is really looking bad. Now we just need to use the login page for our Fortune devs. If it will be okay, admin index. Let's just log out and see the login page. So if we try to view page source, we can see we have all this. So just copy everything and then go and paste it inside the login. Inside the login, where is it? Login. So I'll just put the spaces, and then I'll need to have a layout for the login for it just to work fine. So we'll just copy and paste this one and then rename it as login layout. So having the login layout, I'll just have to create its own actually the login layout doesn't have many things, so I'll just need to remove the pjax tags, and then it doesn't have a top bar, it doesn't have the navigation bar, it's just simple. So if I try to refresh now in the login page, we still have a problem. It needs to have its own assets. So I'll just copy up assets, copy paste, and then rename this as login asset. Inside here, I'll just name it as login asset, which is just fine. So inside our login layout, I'll just need to import the login assets. Duplicate, then login asset. So having that in place, now we can go in the login page and try to figure out things. We have a file called the app.css. So I'll just need to open it. The app.css, I think, yeah, app.css. Copy that name, and then in the layout, in the web, you can see the portfolio CSS, app.css. Okay, I need to create a new folder for the login. And then inside the login, I can add another folder for CSS, and then the next one will be for JS. So in the CSS, we can create a new file, which we can just rename this way, and then copy the content. copy and then paste it inside here. So having that in place, I can just load that asset in the login assets. So we don't need a lot of things here, so I'll just remove them. So inside web we have the login, then CSS, then here it will be app asset. So if we try to go to the login page now, okay, I'm not sure of where it is. Let's try refreshing it. No, we have the login layout. No, actually site controller. Here's where we have the problem. So inside the login, we just need to call our layout. So this layout is equal to login layout. Actually, we didn't need a lot of things. We just needed the login layout, just using I just complicated things. Site login. The error is internal server error card. Yeah, I need to have my it should be production, not production, development mode, for me to see all the errors that we have. The file does not exist. Layouts, login layout. So where did I create it? Login layout, site controller. It is login layout. Yeah, we have it here. Now I'll just need to remove some files inside the login. So inside the login, we can see we have the active form begin, which I'll just copy that, and then inside this form I'll just replace it with that. So I'll remove all this which is unnecessary. Yeah, it's really unnecessary. And then we just close it here. And so the input fields, we'll just copy them, copy username, yeah, paste, and then the password, copy that, the password field, paste. We don't have this other field, so we just fine. So in the submit, we just need the button. The button will just be replaced here, and everything will be just fine. So the only thing we need here is the main. Copy, and then just delete all this, even this one on top. So if I refresh, you can see we have a login page which is just looking fine. Yeah, site logo, we can just comment this one for now. Yeah, so we have our username and password. So to make this site be for someone to be able to just access the admin side when they are logged in, we can go to the controllers in the model, in the module, and then add this code. So I'll just go to one of the controllers modules, same as controllers, and then let me go to the about. Actually, not the about, or let's look with the about. So in the behaviors, we will need to add this. So the about, we can add the access control. This one, if we add this at only this index action, will only be accessed to only the logged in users. If you're not logged in, you can't access this action. So the same way in the contact, we just do the same. Access control, import it, then verb filter. Yeah, in the default too, you just need to import the access control, verb filter, education. Now here we have several actions to work on. So we have behaviors here already, so I'll just replace it with the one that I've copied, access control, and then we have more than one action here. So we have the index, we have create, update, and delete. Yeah, I think everything is just fine here. So in the behaviors, we can just copy this one and put it in the portfolio, which has the same format. So just paste it here, access control, import it. In the settings, we just need this one, which we used. The behaviors, copy, settings, we paste it here. Now import access control, verb filter. Yeah, so if we try now to log in our admin, we will be prompted to enter our password and username. So even if I try to access the settings action, settings admin, we can see we have been prompted to enter our password. So I'll need to seed a user here for me to be able to access that field, that section. So I need to add a user. So adding a user, I'll need to do this. Open the terminal, create a new migration file, php migrate, create, and then create, actually not create, a seed user table. Yeah, now we have the file here. Now to seed it, I have a ready migration file that is responsible for that. So inside our migration file, you can just seed the user. Yeah, just copy this, site admin user. So I'll just paste it here, ID generator, import it, and then yeah, I have to copy the timestamp too. Yeah, having it here, we have everything sorted. So in our migration file, I don't think so. If we had a user having a name, so I'll just comment this out, provide the permissions again, and then try saving. So everything is sorted. So if now I run php migrate, I'll have my user. So refresh, we have our user admin, password is admin. If I log in, now we are logged in. Yeah. So if we try logging out, you can just log out. Well, no, we are not allowed that method. So I need to make the changes in the site controller. In the logging out section, it's not, we had specified to be a post, but we are just using it as a URL. So let me comment that out. So if I refresh, we will be logged out. Trying to log in again is admin, username is admin, password is admin. If you log in, we are logged in. That's it. So let me just change it to production, and everything will be just fine. So we have managed to create our dashboard and the front end at the same time. So we have taken a lot of time doing this, and I think you learned something. So thank you for your time, and the next tutorial that we'll be creating, we'll be able to deploy this one using GitHub Action. We'll use GitHub Action to create the pipeline and then deploy it to early node virtual machine and assign it a subdomain, which is being provided for free. You don't have to pay for this one. It's just a free subdomain company providing it. Thank you for your time.